new brake pedal. The mount's a little rough, I'll clean it up, but I had to get it in there because I only have two hands, so it was difficult to hold in place. New accelerator pedal. I made this pedal, the brake pedal, longer, and I've inverted it so now it's hanging. I can get a lot more leverage on it, and it frees up a lot of real estate on the floor plan there, leaving more room for the accelerator pedal, because before, with the master cylinders and everything down there, it's pretty crowded, and I didn't have much leverage on the master cylinders. So this pedal's 3 inches longer. Nice big pad. I'll put some grippy tape on that. But yeah, a lot more room for the new accelerator pedal, so pretty excited about that. It'll be easy to access. Don't look at that, it's ugly. It'll get better. Nice and easy access to get to the master cylinders. So yeah. Yep. All right. Okay, we got her stuffed in there to that point. So I gotta give a little bit of explanation here. The last video ended with me pushing the engine underneath the truck, right? I planned on just continuing to film, but I was trying to create some cinematic drama or suspense, you know, by ending that episode with the engine just going underneath the truck, and then, you know, like the TV series do, you know, they get to the juicy part of the plot and then they go to commercial, or they end the episode and you got to come back next week to find out what happens. Well, that's what I was trying to do. But it didn't work out, because when we got the engine in there, I couldn't keep filming because Julie noticed this. The crankshaft pulley harmonic balancer was busted. If you can see that. This is just a stock LS balancer. Now, that wasn't a new part. I don't know how that happened. Since this has been under my ownership, I have not dropped it or anything. It's been sitting on the stand, so it wasn't a new pulley. Brian knew that most of the stuff on the front I was going to replace. Like, I replaced the alternator with a high amp one. I'm replacing the power steering pump. The pulleys, he probably had the same thing in mind. So I probably could have ran it, but my luck doesn't play well that way. So I just ordered a new one. So it's a couple weeks later since that last episode. I had to order that part. I did get a good Chevy Performance Parts balancer pulley, so it's on there. And then today I'm waiting for the new power steering pump and pulley and bracket to mount the pump to that front mount system. I'm upgrading from the Saginaw style to a good tough stuff pump with a remote reservoir, and I got a new reservoir filter. It's a Howe. It's got a filter that goes on the bottom of it right there. So I'm gonna put that system in there, and it's a lot easier to do outside of the truck. But now that I got that in there, I wanted to at least carry on from where the video ended and make sure I could get this in here. Not being able to take the valve covers off like the older engine takes away about 6 inches of play space for us, 3 inches on each side. These heads are a lot taller than the older LT motor, and so even though this engine's overall narrower, it's actually wider as far as being able to get that in between these rails. So what I had to do was remove our skid plate bar there, and I put in tube connectors, chromoly tube connectors, got those welded in, and that freed up a little bit of space so we can finagle this thing in here. So yeah, I wanted to make sure I could at least get it to this point, and then I'll have to lift it up and tip it and put it in there. So I was at this point gonna just take it out now and wait for the pump and the pulley. The pump will be here tomorrow, the pulley will be here today. I do have a power steering pump on it. That's the old one, just using it for mock-up. But the way I'm looking at this now, I might have to put this in and then put the power steering stuff on, just because that pulley and everything's going to hang out a little bit, and it might you know, crowd us up. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. I might just go ahead and put this in here and work on getting some motor mounts fabbed up for it. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking right now. I think that's probably the best way to go. Tilt it up, slide her in there. I still left it on the stands that it came with. I'll use those to hold it and get it all centered. Make sure the crankshaft and transmission output shaft is all in alignment with the third member on the rear end. I'll laser that. And I'll utilize those stands to do that and hold it in place. Prop it up on some cribbing or something. Yeah. So yeah, there it is. My plan was to have this in, like I said, last weekend or a couple weekends ago when I was filming, but she noticed that pulley, and that's a good catch. So it's better to replace it. Other than that, excuse me, we'll get that in there, see how it goes. Okay, got her up in there. It's just eyeballed right now, but it's pretty center. But like I said, I will laser it and get it centered. And boy, Brett's gonna have just a ton of room over here. I think the motor needs to come this way just a little, but it's pretty darn close. Header tubes are basically the only thing that we got to contend with now. And it might be better to run them. They used to come up and out here, but it might be better to run them down low now. I don't know. I'll have to take a look and see how they fit. This side looks good. It worked out good because it would not have fit with the power steering pump and stuff on there through there. But that's where we're at. We got enough room to take the belt off and change the belt if we need to. I'm not going to go forward with it anymore because the power steering pulley is going to be right here. And like you said, you can see there's enough room there to change the belt. Steering shaft has got fingers width of clearance there. But everything looks good. Moving my brake pedal assembly from the floor up here, I think is going to play out to be a really big benefit and a good idea. The header pipes are going to come off here just like they were before. They are back just a little bit more, but they're in more also, towards the center. I got plenty of room to do the oil stuff, so that's why I decided just to stick it in here. Tail stock of the transmission's pretty much the same place. It doesn't have the underdrive on it right now, but there's plenty of room for it. That's it. It's in. So now what I'm going to do is try to find some jack stands that I can stand this on, and then I'll laser it, and I'll use those to scooch the motor around where I need to be. I also need to check the degree angle on the block. I think we're pretty close, just kind of eyeballing it to the frame rail here, and like the cylinder head gasket line, we want about a 3-degree tilt in that. Not super crucial to be exact because this thing sits low in the rear end anyway, naturally, so just to give it a little backwards tilt. That way we get the oil flow right. But there it is. New LS. She's in. Getting closer.